Oh, what's this? What's up, tribe? That's a letter on my chin. What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Happy Sunday. Real Housewives of Potomac, part 3 of the season. We are at the end of the season. We are at the end of the season, you guys. Next week, we'll be starting the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We'll be here, same bat time, same bat channel. Listen. This final review is probably going to be a little all over the place because let's be clear, they really could have, like, I feel like they needed a part 3, but there was a lot of filler because they really had to drag out the whole Stacy situation because they really was stalling for time so they could get that footage. If you really want to know what I think about it, and the person that had the footage was also filming Mia leaving, so it was kind of like they had to wait for that to play out and for them to do what they had to do, yada yada yada. Because when I tell you that at first I thought Bravo was playing when he was like, command room, I was like, is he really talking to the command room? But then he really was, and that was correct. That was funny to me. Hold on, y'all. So listen. To be honest, if we didn't have this whole Stacy TJ part, we really didn't need a part 3. Like, the TJ of it all really saved y'all a part 3. Because honestly, we really didn't need a part 3. Especially once Mia left. And I'm sure Mia leaving and then Jacqueline, girl, they ain't had nothing to say to you. They totally scrapped the men coming out. Hold on, y'all. Shine my light. Give me a second. I'm having some technical difficulties over here right now. Child, this light is giving me a hard time. Okay. They didn't even bring the guys out. Like, they had Greg there and they had Eddie there, but honestly, I guess they didn't even have enough to fill up a segment. I guess G chose not to come. TJ was uninvited from coming. Giselle, Ashley don't have nobody to come. Jacqueline, we wouldn't care if she did. So, moving right along. Do I think Mia will get paid for what? The reunion? Yeah. She showed up. She just left. Will they fine her or deduct something? Maybe. But, I mean, she was at the reunion. And she was there for the majority of the reunion. I mean, by the time Mia left, again, like I just said, had they not had this whole TJ situation, honestly, by the time Mia left, child, they had probably been there all. Matter of fact, you saw it was dark when she walked out to the car. It was dark. Child, they had been there all damn day. It was at least after 5 o'clock. And we know they get started filming first thing in the morning. So she had been there all day. You want Mia fired? A lot of people are saying fire Mia. Yeah, they had to scrap the whole man situation. So let me say this. Okay, so let's talk about the Mia of it all first. Because honestly, Mia... the dramatics of it all. Girl, all that crying and her acting like she didn't even know how to get out. And you be out of here. Like, she still... Girl, you was still crying after you done already took your clothes off and got dressed. Girl, you was still crying. About what? Like, Mia, you have said some of the nastiest shit about people on this show, about their kids, about their spouses. You have questioned things as it relates to the other ladies. And now that it's time for it to come back on you, now that's a bridge too far for you. Not my children. Girl, you made your children a storyline. You made your children a storyline. And just because Giselle or Ashley or whomever are questioning, because let's be clear, they were never questioning your children. They were questioning your storyline about your children. And that is part of what they were trying to warn you about and say, listen, you making your children a storyline is going to create a problem. And the reunion is the time in which we talk about this shit. Like, come on, Mia, don't act like you don't know what this is. Your whole storyline all season long has been about paternity and Gordon's mental health and you and Ink. Just because the shit didn't play out the way you wanted it to play out, don't come in here now and all of a sudden act like now everybody is being so horrible and cruel and they're coming at you about your children. Girl, stop. Girl, stop. I see a lot of y'all saying that there should be some repercussions for her leaving the reunion early. There may be. There may be. Listen, I don't work in HR for Bravo. I don't know what they do. I mean, they may dock her for the whole reunion. I don't know. But we know that most of them, their contracts, they get paid based off of whether they're in the episode. She was in the episode, albeit she was only in part 3 for about 5 minutes. So maybe they won't have to pay her for the episode because she literally really wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I blame Carlos King for making Mia believe she was something she wasn't. I don't blame Carlos King because Carlos King put it out there, but the fans did it too. We're not listening. I'm not absolving the fans. I am not absolving the fans because yes, Carlos did, give her, Mia is doing this and Mia is running this show and Mia is this and Mia is that. But let's be clear. The fans let Mia feel that way as well. And when I say the fans, it may not be the fans sitting in this room right now, but be clear that Mia had the fans all up in her face telling her she's running things, she's the queen bee, she's the it, she's this, she's that. It wasn't just Carlos. Now, did Carlos, put his Carlos on it? Yeah, of course he did. But I ain't gonna put all of that on Carlos because I ain't understand from the beginning why everybody was going up for Mia. I never understood why everybody was going up for Mia. I was never a Mia fan. Now, did I sometimes how Mia would clock other people? I mean, that's in any show. Everybody have a good day sometime. But I told y'all can go back and look at my reviews. I told y'all from the beginning when Mia asked was lying about her age. I said, so she can remember every single plastic surgery she had, but she don't remember her age. Girl, stop playing with me. I knew then Mia was on some bullshit. I knew Mia was lying about being some damn CEO. Y'all can go back and look at my reviews. They still there. Go back and look at my reviews. When Mia sat there and talked about something she was a CEO, I told y'all then that was some bullshit. I told y'all that. Carlos said she was the new face of Facebook. Now, Carlos definitely hyped her up. Let's be clear, but I'm not gonna put all of this on Carlos, child. I ain't putting all this on Carlos. Now, I ain't putting all of this on Carlos. Now, don't get me wrong, Carlos, he can carry some of this burden, but child, everybody, when I say everybody, y'all know I don't mean everybody, but a lot of people were going up for Mia. A lot of people were making Mia think she was that it girl. She was that new thing. Like, a lot of people were doing that. But Mia leaves. And again, I don't know what the consequences are going to be for Mia leaving. I don't know. And I honestly, when it comes to reality TV, we have to look at this. And I know how a lot of y'all feel. We have to look at this through the eyes of a producer and not through the eyes of what we like and what we don't like. And for the eyes of a producer, we could say that if Mia comes back and is willing to have the conversations, she may keep her job. I mean, we got to call a thing a thing. When it comes to producing the show, well, it's also going to depend on how pissed off Andy was about her leaving. I honestly don't think Andy was that upset from the point of view of, again, he got what he wanted out of her. Like, he got a lot out of her. So I don't think Andy's that mad that she left. I mean, y'all know what I'm saying. Like, relatively speaking. Will it cost her job? I don't know. Let's get into the TJ of it all. Listen. I'm going to be honest with y'all. But for the fact that Stacy would not pick up the phone and call TJ, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't automatically believe TJ over Stacy. I just don't. Now let me go through piece by piece. Okay, let me go through piece by piece. So here's what we found out. What has been rumored for the last 3 weeks was confirmed that on camera, TJ said that Stacy was paying him, that, you know, basically the whole show was fake and phony, and Stacy was a fake and phony, yada, yada, yada. Right? Stacy, if you had picked up the phone and called that man, I might actually be on your side right now, because I could believe what Stacy was saying when she was like, "Look, he mad, he hurt, he in his feelings, and he is lashing out." Like, I think that I think the way Stacy handled it didn't help either, because if Stacy had said, "I believe he said those things, but he's lying," then because again, for you to be like, "He didn't say it, I don't believe he said it, I want to see it, I want to see it." See, girl, all of that is what got you in trouble. All of that is what got you in trouble. Because had you been like, "Oh, Wendy, I believe he said that bullshit," because TJ been on some bullshit ever since I broke up with him. He's in his fifis about it. He don't know how to handle rejection. Like, you could have built that up in a way that could have made some of us, not everybody, but some of us be like, Because let's call a thing a thing. I ain't gonna sit here and act like TJ ain't got it in him to be on some bullshit. I ain't gonna sit here and act like TJ ain't got it in him to be on some bullshit. Now, here's why I don't believe you, though, Stacy. Here's why I do not believe you. Here's why I do not believe. Kevin, I didn't say I believed her. I need you to listen. See, y'all don't be hearing me out. Will you let me finish? Let me cook. Let me cook, Kevin. Let me cook. Here's why I don't believe you, though, Stacy. Because you didn't know how to play that shit. Because let's be clear, the first thing I would have done was been like, "Oh, I'm calling that motherfucker. Oh no, what you not about to do?" And I'd have put it on speaker, and I'd have been like, "So TJ, what you say to Eddie backstage?" You said what? And let TJ say what it is that he was or wasn't gonna say. Because either he gonna be on camera saying backpedaling and pussy popping, or he gonna be on camera doubling down. Now, if I get him on camera backpedaling and pussy popping, even if I'm lying, that's all I need. All I need is for TJ to stammer and him and her. All I need is for TJ to be like, "What? What you mean? I don't. What did Eddie say? I didn't say that to Eddie. That's not what I meant." See what I'm saying? See, had you called him, and it don't even matter whether you knew what he was going to say or not, you could have gone left or you could have gone right. But I would have called him and been like, "Now, what was all that you had said? What was all that you had said?" The other thing I would have done, because thank you, Phil. Hey, boo. Thank you for the super chat and thank you for your comment. I agree. Stacy should have at least tried. Right. The fact that you did not try is what makes me feel like you are a liar. Because again, you weren't acting like somebody that felt like they needed to vindicate themselves. And I understand that some people might feel like I don't need to vindicate myself. I don't need to justify nothing. I don't need to explain shit. But you do. But you do. And you had them OGs on that couch telling you did. You had Giselle, you had Ashley, and even though I wouldn't put Wendy in the OG category, we're going to put Wendy in the VIP MVP category for this reunion. You had all of them telling you, "Girl, yes, you do. You absolutely need to defend yourself." You had your boss trying to give you every out in the world. He was like, "Well, I mean, could it be that do you owe him money for anything?" Girl, I could have, listen, he was giving you an out. You could have been like, "Well, I did," like, because even Andy was like, "Well, did you offer to pay his expenses? Like, could he be talking about his plane ticket, his hotel, per diem?" Like, there was so many outs that everybody was trying to give you, Stacy. And you were just sitting there like, mm-mm. Like, I would have even took that out. Let's be clear. I would have took that out. When Andy said, well, because I was even thinking, damn, Andy, when Andy said, well, did you promise to help him pay his expenses? I'd have been like, you know what, Andy, now that I think about it, we did have that conversation because he was spending a lot of money flying back and forth to film. Sometimes he flew into film on days that he wasn't planning to come. So we did have that conversation. You see what I'm saying? Like, there was so many different outs that people were giving you. And then even Giselle and Ashley was like, well, girl, do you have some screenshots? Do you have some text messages? Because you already know what he gonna do. You know he gonna. Speaking of which, anybody follow him on Instagram or the Twitters, the X? Because baby, I know he gonna post something, and when he posted, I want it. Baby, when he posted, I want it. Thank you, lovely soul of two. Says Stacy is getting up her storyline for next season. Child, if she's smart, she will. Now let's talk about it though. So Stacy, and here's what, and I agree with you, Kevin. What was pissing me off was, in order for you to continuously say that it wasn't true, you had to insinuate that Eddie was lying. And even when Eddie was literally sitting in your face, you were still trying to come up with a way to justify what you were trying to say. Well, Eddie, I mean, I love you, Wendy, and I love you, Eddie, and I don't want to say anything discouraging or disparaging about Eddie, but I mean, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. So then here's the thing. If I'm telling you what was said, then, and you telling me you don't believe it, then you calling me a liar. Even after Eddie came out there, now I'm gonna be honest. I still feel how I felt last week when I feel like that it was a plan, it was a setup. I still feel like that phone call was a setup. I'm gonna be clear. I'm gonna be honest with you and say I still feel like that phone call was a setup. And I feel like Eddie's evasiveness and answering the questions is that he knew more than what he was saying. But I think he was sticking to what was actually said on camera, because I absolutely believe that Wendy and Eddie were privy to more than what they said. I believe that. I believe that 100%. I believe that. But I also feel like Eddie was sticking to what was said on camera. And I think that is where the evasiveness in his answers was coming from. So when Andy was like, well, did he say ... And remember, Eddie is also an attorney. So Eddie knows how to say things and word things in a way that's not going to get him caught up. So I feel like TJ has told them more. As it relates to Stacy, I believe that. But at the end of the day, Stacy, you really could have helped yourself in so many different ways and you chose not to. And I do believe you're a liar. And I do believe that when your friend, your real best friend, because see, all this, he's my best friend. I lost my best friend today. All that's bullshit. All of that is bullshit. That man is not your friend. That man is not your best friend. There was absolutely no chemistry between the two of y'all. When y'all were filming, y'all weren't even acting like y'all liked each other, much less friends. I could understand co-workers that became friends, that started dating, but we're not intimate. Like, I'm fine with all of that. But let me be clear when I tell you that I absolutely do not feel like that any of that is true. I don't believe any of that is true. I absolutely believe that he was a co-worker. Both of y'all asses was out of work. You had this opportunity to get on the show, and you hit him with the, okay, can we do this, and that, and boom, boom, boom. And I even believe that your ass is behind on your payments. Because we know your divorce is final now, and we know that you didn't get no that you got your spousal support, but you didn't get your child support or whatever the hell it was that she let go of. So I absolutely believe that maybe you do owe that man some money. But I also believe what Eddie was saying, and Eddie was talking all around it, but I also believe that TJ got upset because of the way he was portrayed and the fact that everybody was calling that man gay. And I think that is bothering him as well. I don't know nothing about that man. I'm not one of those people that puts, if that man ain't came out and said he gay, as far as I'm concerned, he ain't gay. If that man ain't came out and told me or told the world that he is a homosexual, then as far as I'm concerned, he's not a homosexual. But I can understand him having a problem with that narrative being out there from everybody, from the fans to even people on the show. I can understand him feeling some kind of way about it. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all Stacy was dating someone else, but used TJ as a stand-in. I don't think Stacy was dating anybody else. I think that Stacy had an opportunity to be on this show. I think that her ex-husband would not film, and she could not use that as her storyline. I mean, as far as she couldn't film with her ex-husband or go through any of that, and she don't have no job. Like, she needed a storyline. I don't think TJ was supposed to get a part of her settlement. I do think that she probably told him, when I get my settlement, I'm going to break you off. I think that might have been it. And I don't think she has. But her best friend from Chicago already hipped us to what it was. And when he talked, I believed it. When that one little scene with her best friend, when they were filming in the little Mexican restaurant having drinks before her little doggy party, I said, he done told the whole story right there. He done told on everything. He done told. She should have picked somebody better than TJ. I don't think she had many options. That's why I don't believe she's dating anybody in real life. I think she was limited to people she knew here in DC. I think she was limited to people that wouldn't snitch or couldn't be linked to somewhere else that the storyline couldn't blow up. You know what I'm saying? Now she could have paid someone better looking and had real hair. Kim, do not come in here cutting up tonight. Don't jump down here cutting up tonight, Kim. Ciao. Chuck, here's the thing. You can say that. Chuck said, B, I'm telling you that TJ was on that trainer and measured him. I know that look and I've made that look. You can say that because you're a gay man. You know what I'm saying? You feel free to say it, boo. And I'm not questioning your experience. I'm just saying, for me, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. But that's for me. But as a gay man, absolutely, you have your observations, your life experience. That's why when T says it or Scotty says it, I can't question that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, for me, I don't put that jacket on people until he come out and say he a homosexual. As far as I'm concerned, he not no homosexual. Okay. But I understand people who are gay saying, because y'all know stuff that I don't know. Y'all see shit I don't see. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? It is. Eddie came out. I mean, I think I kind of went through this already. So, Stacy, at the end of the day, you came off as not very credible. Nobody believed what you had to say. Everybody thought you were lying. From Andy on down to the cameraman. They tried to help you, girl. Even Jacqueline's pick-me ass was like, why would she have to pay for her boyfriend? She's gorgeous. Baby, even by the end, Jacqueline was like, Notice Jacqueline stopped defending her. Because remember, for what we saw was edited. Can you imagine how long they was going back and forth with Stacy? And Stacy just wouldn't let up off of it. And I don't know why. Like, girl. Well, I mean, I know why, because you was lying. But, girl. So do y'all think she should be demoted? I see people saying she should be demoted. Y'all think she should be fired? What do y'all think? Y'all think that this set her up for a good storyline? Now, she's on Watch What Happens Live tonight, so I wonder what she's going to say tonight. She was on Watch What Happens Live. Yeah, I'm going to have to see what she says on Watch What Happens Live, child. Yep. Okay. So, wait a minute, hold on. What did I just do? I'm sorry, y'all. I was looking at something in it then. Okay. Keep her and let her go on dates. What relationship was fake? Giselle. Oh, y'all in the chat. Now Jizzy came on with a fake relationship. Remember that first season, Phil? When Giselle was allegedly dating her. Remember, he was her best friend too. We saw him for like 3 episodes, child, and we didn't see him again. Child, Giselle had that old fake ass boyfriend at first. It was either season 1 or season 2. Remember, her mom actually even filmed her meeting her mom and stuff. I think that's the first and last time we saw Giselle's mama. Giselle had that little fake boyfriend. I feel like every franchise we can look at something where somebody has something fraudulent. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that makes it okay, y'all. I'm not saying that makes it okay, but I just feel like every franchise went through that, child. Giselle never liked that guy. He liked her. Phil, see, here he go. Y'all know how Phil get when he be caping for his people. Phil, it was a fake relationship. Like, you can spin that however you want. It was a fake relationship. Right. Jamal was a fake relationship. They were not dating. Phil, now I didn't know you was a Giselle fan, but I see you. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Phil. I see you caping. Y'all know how Phil get. Giselle had a fake relationship. Call a thing a thing. I leave T to defend her. He's her stand. I'm over Stacy at this point. I need her to pick a personality. Lord, I need her to pick a personality. So after that whole debacle, child, they didn't even give Jacqueline none. Jacqueline was sort of like an overthought. Jacqueline was sort of like an overthought. Now, I think her and Sherman were really dating. I just think Sherman was a hoe, and I think Sherman didn't want to be on the show and want to be locked into a relationship. But I do think her and Sherman were really dating. I love you too, Phil. I love you too. So after that, like I said, Jacqueline was the afterthought, child. Don't nobody care nothing about what you got going on. Girl, don't nobody care. That bonder was not weak. See, there he go. Phil just don't like Monique. Baby, that bonder was not weak. And again, remember, we did not see everything that Monique had in that bonder. They edited some stuff out, but baby, no, that bonder was not weak. No, sir. It was not. It was not. It was not. It was not weak. Moving right along. The rest of this episode really seemed to be about Karen. And I feel like a lot of what they talked about, we've kind of already covered. But let's talk a little bit about what came up as far as Karen's case is concerned. I really want us to stop saying Karen had a bad attorney. And I know this is coming from a personal place because I know Karen's attorney and he is not a bad attorney. Karen had a really good attorney. Karen did not listen to attorney. I need people to understand something. Your attorney can only advise you. Your attorney cannot make you do anything. If Karen had made a decision to go to trial, I am sure that her attorney advised her that it was not a good idea. I am sure that they had seen that footage. I do not believe Karen when she said she didn't see the footage. I don't believe that Ray didn't see the footage. They would be fools, both of them. Both of them would be fools to not have seen that footage. But certainly her attorney knew how bad the footage was because just like Giselle said, and just like Wendy said, they tried to get it suppressed. So they knew how damning that footage was, right? I absolutely believe that her attorney advised her to take the plea deal. Because, and just like Simone was saying, girl, is that legal? They may have been able to get that footage suppressed had she taken the plea. I don't know that to be a fact because sometimes it's just a freedom of information. It was body cam footage. They may have been able to get it, reporters and stuff may have been able to get it anyway. I can't say that to be a fact. However, if and when that footage had come out, Karen would have she would have took the plea. She would already be on house arrest or handling whatever needed to be handled, right? So I really want us to stop talking about her attorney was a bad attorney. He's not. I know who her attorney was. And not only is he is not a bad attorney. Okay. However, you are only as good as your client. And if your client is saying, no, I don't want to take the deal. No, I don't want to take the deal. No, I don't want to take the deal. There's really nothing you can do but take the case to court. Now, And again, as much as I love Law and Order and Matlock, y'all know that's where I got my degrees from. It is not that easy to drop a client. To be honest with you, unless it's like a real serious ethical issue, it's really hard to drop a client once you have started the case. It's not that easy. I know they make it look easy on TV, but honestly, it is really not that easy to drop a client, especially that far into the case. I'm gone. So, and I don't know if that was your drink or the baby's drink, but it's a drink in there. I think Karen really was arrogant enough to believe that she could talk her way out of it. I don't know what she was thinking. I honestly don't know what she was thinking, but it is what it is. Right, Phil. Thank you. It is really hard. Right. So the TV makes it look like it's easy. It is not that easy. It is not that easy. So, I'm really glad that they decided not to put that footage in the final episode, even though they showed it at the reunion. I'm glad that they decided not to give us that final footage. It was that scene was so contrived and so placed and so, oh gosh, it was such bullshit. And y'all know I like Karen, but it was such bullshit. And then the lady started talking about what we knew about how bad Karen's reputation is in Montgomery County as far as her drinking. Karen has a drinking problem. Period. Full stop. And all of this, I started using antidepressants, and instead of going back to the doctor, I self-medicated. Karen, you almost told too much. And Phil, you could co-sign with me on this one because I know you deal in this area. Karen, you almost talked too much. You almost about to get your ass caught up and go to jail for something totally different. Because when you started talking about you never went back to the doctor, but you started adjusting your medication yourself. Listen, I know that they don't just give out mental health ill. You said you was on antidepressants. They don't just throw that shit around. So you mean to tell me that you were taking more than what the doctor prescribed and you never went back to the doctor to adjust it? That tells me that either A, you was buying them illegally, getting them from somewhere you wasn't supposed to be getting them, or B, you had a hookup at the pharmacy and they was giving you more than you were supposed to have. Because at the end of the day, you don't just get to adjust your medication for 7 years. She said that this has been going on for 7 years. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That is not how that shit works. Baby, I have a prescription for a narcotic. And when I first started taking that prescription, they would give me a 3-month supply. Baby, now, not only they do not give me a 3-month supply anymore, then they went down to a 7-day supply. And then they went up to a 30-day supply. So, and this has changed over. At this point, I really don't take them anymore. But when I first got out of the hospital, I was taking them every day. And then they cut the milligrams, and then now just take them as needed. And at this point, I very, 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 very seldom need to take the narcotic. It's at the point now where I really only take the narcotic. Honestly, I take it when I travel and I know I'm going to be doing a lot of walking. That's really the only time my day-to-day, even if I go to the gym and all of that, my day-to-day here, I don't need it. I very, very seldom use it. But I say all that to say it is very carefully monitored what you have, how often you're taking it, how often you're refilling that prescription. It is very, very monitored. So for you to be sitting there talking about you were self-medicated, you were upping your dosage, girl, you was talking too much. You was telling on yourself, and you almost about to get yourself caught up in some other bullshit. See, at the people in the chat agreeing with me. The people in the chat are agreeing with me. Right, Phil. Karen almost got her prescribing doctor in trouble, right, for upping that dosage. Exactly. The conversation between Karen and Ray was painful. Right, I was with Giselle on that one, like, just turn this shit off. It was so hard to watch because, again, it was so contrived. It was so contrived. And can I tell y'all something? Can Can I tell y'all something? We all know over the years that Karen self edits. We know that Karen creates these moments and she just get ready to read his script. We know that Karen has done this for years. Like, this is not anything new. We know Karen has done this for years. You know what I'm saying? But that scene right there was just, I was with Giselle on that one. Y'all need to scrap that shit. That is not doing Karen any good. Now, I will say this. I don't know if y'all noticed something that I noticed. Did y'all notice Andy wasn't happy about Karen not being at that reunion? Did y'all notice how Andy kept saying she went into rehab to avoid coming to the reunion? She went into rehab to avoid coming to the union. She went, like, did y'all notice that? I agree, Callie girl. I agree. And that is why I feel like Karen has absolutely not accepted. I don't think Karen has accepted she has a problem. I don't think Karen thinks she has a problem. And I think that I don't think that anything she's doing right now is going to work. One thing about an addict, and I keep saying this to you guys, one thing about an addict, until they decide that they're ready, and everybody's rock bottom is different. Everybody's rock bottom isn't being strung out on the street half dead. Like, that's not everybody's rock bottom. Everybody's rock bottom is different. For some people, their rock bottom might be a DUI. For some people, their rock bottom might be they woke up one day and blacked out and couldn't remember what they said. Like, everybody's rock bottom is different. And I mean, I had a cousin who, well, technically he's my best friend's uncle, but anyway, neither here nor there. He was a drug addict for years. The day his daughter was born, boom. The day his daughter was born, boom. Cleaned up his act. He barely even drinks at this point. Like, every once in a while, he might have a glass of wine or he might have a beer. And when I say every once in a while, I mean every once in a while. And when I say he was a drug addict, like bad, he was a drug addict bad. But the day his daughter was born, her mama wasn't in a position to take care of her. And he had to take care of her, and so he had to get clean. And literally, he didn't go to no program. He didn't go to no rehab. He literally just stopped cold turkey. Everybody's his rock bottom was his daughter, and knowing that if he didn't get his shit together, his daughter was gonna probably end up in the system or worse. That was his rock bottom. Everybody's rock bottom is different. Hey, y'all, boo. Y'all said if she went in on the 27th of December and was there for 48 hours allegedly, and the reunion was January 9th, then yeah, he would be upset she wasn't there. Yeah. I've never heard of a 48-hour rehab that's detox. There's a difference. I don't even think, can you detox in 48 hours? I don't even think that's a full detox. Yeah, I know what the judge said, but I mean, as far as the timeline is concerned, yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, I think she went into rehab and then she went to that facility, that country club facility. I think that's what it was. Because the judge didn't consider that place that she went to as a legitimate rehab because they literally had wine tastings as an option of things you could do while you were there. So it could not have possibly been a legitimate rehab if they're offering wine tastings. Like, stop it. Karen, stop. Mm-hmm. I think part of Karen's problem is if she gets sober long enough, she'll realize just how unhappy she is. And a lot of her unhappiness, I think, comes from her marriage, where she is in her life. I mean, she can talk about being the grand dame all she wants and all these wonderful things she's done, but I think she's at a space where she's looking around and I don't think she's happy with what she sees. And I'm not saying I agree with that. I think that Karen's done some great things in her life, but I don't think she doesn't see it that way. And yes, I don't think and I don't think she wants to be married. I definitely don't think she wants to be married to Ray. Oh, Kenya said recovering opioid addict here, 17 years clean. Well, first of all, congratulations. Congratulations on 17 years, my love. April the 1st, sometimes you can create a rock bottom for someone, i.e. intervention. Okay. Okay. Yeah, interventions have been known to be used. And they may have tried an intervention with Karen at some point. I mean, I don't know. What's clear is that this has been going on a very long time. Was someone else in the car or not? Let me say this. I don't think anybody else was in the car, and here's why. Because I feel like that would have come up. Like, I feel like that would have at least been her. Like, I think that would have at least been her argument. Because when she kept saying she would be vindicated, she'd be vindicated. Maybe that's the vindication she thought she was going to get. Because I don't understand. To me, I don't understand how that didn't come up. That's what your family did. Amen. Yeah, to God be the glory. Yes, absolutely. Ray absolutely enables her, but I think that makes Ray's life easier. Karen not being home makes Ray's life easier. And I hate to say it like that, but baby, when they said that Karen was only 4 minutes away from her house, my God. Yeah, the only reason why I don't believe that somebody else was in the car is because I just feel like that would have come up. I just feel like that would have come up. I mean, that would have been my defense. I mean, and I would have been screaming it to the rooftop. I mean, I know she said it on camera. I mean, we saw the body cam, but baby, I would have been saying that. Baby, I would have been saying that till I was blowing the face. Like, y'all need to go find the person that jumped out my car. I wasn't driving the car. It wasn't me. Y'all need to go find. And remember, her nephew or cousin or whoever, he was on the phone with her while she was driving. She said that herself. She said, when I was driving home, we were talking on the phone and you heard the accident. So I don't believe that there was somebody in that car. I believe Karen was drunk as fuck and saying crazy shit. I think Karen was saying that thinking that the police would believe it and be like, oh, somebody else was in the car? Oh, okay, you can go home, ma'am. I don't believe that it was somebody else in that car. I mean, that was the same footage where she said something about Thomas Jefferson's concubine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking nothing she said in that shit. Yeah, I don't think somebody was in. I don't think. Now, I do think that there were times when she had a driver, but I don't think that night was one of them. I don't think she had a driver that night. I think she was 4 minutes from her house. Yes, she probably knew she had drank too much. But again, that goes back to what I've been saying. How many times did you do this and get away with it? How many times did you do this and not hurt anybody? You know? But that was pretty much what. Hold on, let me make sure. Look, let me make sure. I really didn't take a whole lot of notes because honestly, outside of those were the two main things that they talked about was Karen, her sentence and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of that we've already talked about. And then the whole TJ Stacy of it all, child. Karen probably told people she wasn't driving, so what? Yeah, I mean, I believe she said those things. I just don't believe they're true. The crazy part is she could go home and go back to drinking again if she isn't ready to admit she has a problem. All addicts do is lie and deny. Here's the reality of the situation. If she had taken the deal, had Karen taken the plea deal, she would be done right now. Now, she probably, I don't know how much probation she would have gotten. I don't know any of those things. But Karen would be on house arrest now. I'm sure she probably would have had to submit to some sort of breathalyzer on a regular on a regular basis or anything like that. Like, I don't know. But she would be done. And she'd be getting ready to film. Now, I don't know whether she would want to film or not, but she'd be getting ready to film. I feel like I said this earlier and I'll repeat it here. And this might come as a surprise to some of y'all. But I think they need to get on the phone and call Candace. I do not think they need to go out and do no major search for a new person. I don't think we need to bring a stranger into this. I think we need a season to heal from all this bullshit, from the Mia of it all, from the Karen of it all, hell, from the Stacy of it all. I think they need to bring Candace back. I think they need to bring Candace back. Candace has a storyline. She's had a baby. She has new music coming out. We don't, what you've been doing for the last year, Candace. I absolutely think that they need to bring Candace back. I think Candace and Giselle need to have some honest conversations now that Robin is not there. They do not need to bring Robin back, Phil. Absolutely not. Giselle was so much more likable without Robin. Giselle was so much more likable without Robin. Absolutely not. I think we need a season with Candace, Giselle without Robin, and see if they can work through, again, not asking them to be best friends, but see if they can work through some of the bullshit that they went through. And I just think we need a familiar face. I do not think they need to go out and find a stranger. I think we have Jazzy, who may be willing to film a little bit more, depending on how things are going with her relationship. We have Kiki not really showing, how she may want to film. We have Wendy. Now, I don't know. The problem with the OGs is they're not bringing us nothing. Wendy, Giselle, and Ashley honestly are not bringing us any storylines. Honestly are not bringing us any real storylines. So I don't know, but there's a strong foundation in Potomac with the 3 OGs that are left. The cousin was lying. What cousin? What cousin was lying? Who? Oh, Karen's cousin. Yeah, But yeah, so that's what I think. I do not think they need to bring back Sharice. I do not think Katie. I do not think Monique. I don't think Monique will come back anyway. I do not think Robin. I think if anybody they're gonna bring back, it should be Candace. Her nephew, her cousin, whoever he was, child. But I do think Candace will bring something, and we know that Candace there's already friction there that they can work through. So, which is why they did rely so much on Mia. I do think Mia needs to come back, because I think Mia needs to be held accountable. I think Mia needs to be forced to have these conversations. She can't run out of every scene. She can't not film every scene. So I do think they need to bring Mia back. I really don't care about them bringing Stacy back. Even without the TJ bullshit of it all, I didn't care about Stacy. I didn't care nothing about Stacy's storylines. I didn't care nothing about, like, what do you do for a living? I didn't care about her divorce. Like, I don't care. So I don't care if Stacy come back or not. But I do think Mia needs to come back, and I think Mia needs to be held accountable for the bullshit. Don't care about Jacqueline coming back. At least Wendy didn't start a new business this year. Excuse me. I like Stacy. She was a breath of fresh air. Child, with a real Stacy, please stand up. Now I want her to dance again. All right. Well, that is it, you guys. Tomorrow night, we will be at Sakina's house. We'll be rounding out the Whether You Like It or Not Potomac edition at Sakina's house. So y'all meet me over there at 8:30-ish tomorrow at Sakina's place. And then next week, we start all over again with a brand new show, brand new season. And we'll be starting it off at Scotty's house next week for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Married to Medicine. I will try to get you guys Married to Medicine tomorrow early. And of course, Beverly Hills is Tuesday. The Whether You Like It or Not Beverly Hills edition is on Wednesday. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all. But I will talk to y'all later. Peace. Married to Medicine. What? Yeah, I started looking at Married to Medicine. It don't look like it's a whole lot going on.